wide activity layout. And we've standardized on that, but Red-Eye in practice will actually scale your layouts to fit the device that you're running on, so for different tablets and phones and so forth. One other point about positioning is this is one of the reasons that I really like to use the browser application for layout modifications. It's the use of the keyboard. I can click and shift-click to select multiple controls. I can, again, adjust using the arrow keys on a 1-pixel increments. I can type values directly into the position here. I just find this a much better, more convenient way to do things than through a rather limited mobile device screen. All right, so we've got our button in place. Now let's add some functionality. We're actually going to click down to the Actions toggles section here, and then we click Add New Action. And this is very much like the launch and shutdown actions we just saw. So again, I've got command or script types. We're going to talk about scripts next week. I'm going to do a command. This is for the DirecTV, my satellite receiver. I'm going to send the page up command whenever this button is pressed. And you'll notice that when I pick page up, it actually defaults the icon. But let's say that I don't want that icon. I want to use text there instead. So now I'll click over to the Appearance section. You'll see that the name has been defaulted based on the command name. And instead of the up arrow, I'm going to choose this text-only icon type. And what that does is it basically drops the name of the icon right into the button there. You could also use an icon and a name at the same time with using this show label. So here the volume up button actually has a label called volume, which appears when we click on show label. Make sure we do save changes, so there's the save changes button here. If you don't like what you've done, you can always hit cancel, which basically just reloads the page and wipes out your last changes. But we'll hit save changes and move on to looking at custom images. So we have our built-in buttons, and those are great. There's a lot of flexibility there. But if you want something more custom, you can use completely custom graphics by means of Red-Eye's image controls. And these images can be used in many different ways. They could be purely decorative image elements, such as a custom background, or they can be full-fledged buttons. They can be any size that you want. And they can even change at runtime, which is great for things like cover art and stuff like that. So we'll see all of that here in just a second. So here's a group of custom images right here that I've used to replace the arrow keypad. And these are all functioning as buttons. So let's see how this works. So here we are in our layout. The other thing to point out with images is the size. How do you pick the right image size? So remember we talked about layouts being standardized